This episode is brought to you by the Thrive Tribe. Check it out at chasingbrighter.com/Thrive Tribe. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to talk a little bit about your visit and update our listeners on your house and if you had water, and also updating on my daughter committing to college. So you came to visit. Was it a good visit, you feel like?
Yeah, it was a very nice visit. It was it felt short. It was really nice to get away from the Chicago winter as
Mhm.
well. But yeah, it was good. It felt short. It didn't feel like it was enough time to really do everything we wanted to. I think because the West playing baseball with Dominic like
Yeah.
took over a lot of the things, which was fine. And Wes had an absolutely wonderful time. He absolutely loved playing baseball with Dominic and the team and really had fun even up until he's sustained brain damage from the
Yes.
concussion,
Yeah.
but which I think he's fine now, but he
There's
still had
still
headaches for a couple
Dominic had a
days.
tournament this last weekend, and we were still talking about Wes, and other people were talking. It was just cool that this team right now is such a great supportive group, and the one where the wives and girlfriends, I said were the wags. I was saying wives and girlfriends, mothers, girlfriends, whatever, is because the coach's girlfriend I was talking to, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, when Wes and Dominic were standing next to each other, they like looked alike." We just talked about genetics and stuff, and no, I thought it was cool. I thought he really contributed to the team, and it just shows how one player can make a big difference. And we were able to finally go. I've not been to Area 15 and Omega Mart in Las Vegas, and that was really cool and fun
Yeah.
to be able to do that. And I think it does show that it's a good trip, right? When you're sad to leave, right? Versus it being
Yes.
too long. But
Yeah.
your house was fine and the water was fine and everything was fine.
Yeah, like, the rental was fine, I didn't notice we noticed,
Yeah.
I think there had been maybe some drywall work, but there was also a weird thing I didn't tell you, which was it's not it's odd, but the day we checked out, which we checked out 11 and we left at, like, 10:50,
Mhm.
there was a person, like, parked it was in a cul-de-sac, the house was a great location, and the person who was gonna the cleaning crew, let's say, was parked there on the curb,
Mhm.
and so it was a floral delivery truck, so that was weird, but the guy got out and he was talking to Brian, and basically he bought it. So, it was some sort of I think part of the weirdness was the property manager was managing for a previous owner, and they're moving the property to a new owner, and that new owner doesn't wanna use the old property manager, and so he was transitioning to his son or something, so there's all the kinds of, like, weird things happening.
Wait, the guy that was waiting in his truck
Was
is the
the
new owner
owner,
of the
the new
house?
yes, yes.
Oh, and so they had to probably what's that word? What's the word they had to honor
Oh, the
houses that
existing
were
reservation or whatever.
yeah, or something?
Could
I
be,
don't
yeah.
know.
So that was weird. It was
Mm.
fine. It was everything was fine with the house, more or less. The one thing I will say is, as with any Airbnb rental in Vegas in particular, because there are so many, I'm trying to find a really nice place, and it's hard to find a really nice place. This was nice on the surface
Oh, because
cosmetically.
people just come here to party?
Yeah, it's worn down. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed, but it had it smelled like cigarette smoke on the first floor,
Mm-mm, I
and
didn't.
the dryer it was a brand new washer, but the dryer was super old, and it wouldn't turn on, and I didn't realize there was, like, a piece of metal poking out of the front. Brian was like, "Oh, we just have to bend that down, and so it'll snag
Mm,
on the door so that it'll work." Just, like,
yeah,
weird little janky things
yeah.
that it was
But if
just,
you
like,
could
tired.
find a place you love, like in so when we were in a tournament in Phoenix this weekend, it was in Chandler. So I don't know if you were Chandler's, but
I
Chandler's,
it's a
like,
very nice
southeast,
area. Mhm.
and so
Oh, yeah, how was
Peoria
that?
is northwest
Mhm.
where we've been going, and so they're about an hour away from each other. And so when we are in Peoria, I wanna say it's been 3 times we rented the same property at this point, and there is a great property because in Peoria is where all of the spring training is, and there is a house that we get that is totally affordable. It's like where you rent it. I don't know if it's called duplex or whatever, but they're like condo like townhomes, and then they're connected by the garages or whatever, and so it's just been this great, clean, minimal place that has been perfect for our family that
Mm.
has, easy to get in and out of, great location, and just also a really great price. And so I know that's probably what you're just looking for is to find something that you could continually go back to.
My favorite place still, Jess, was when the boys and I went out for 3 weeks
Yeah, is that
over
not available
COVID.
anymore?
No, because I think and I did
Did you have
just
a
reach
pool
out
or
to
a hot
her.
tub? Did you have a
Neither.
Oh, you
It was
didn't? Oh, but
a
you had a yard though.
condo, yes. We didn't really have much of a
And it
yard,
had a
but the
loft
house
upstairs.
yeah, it had 2 living spaces,
Mhm.
and it was 2.5 bath. It was perfect for what we needed,
Yeah.
and so I think what I was going to do is reach out to her, but I think it's because the village or the complex she lives in only allows, like, 30-day rentals or something, and so I think
Oh.
I had rented it for 3 weeks at the time, and I might have paid for a
Mhm.
month, but it was cheaper than the other way, and but what was interesting is the place we rented this past time, the note was like, "Don't tell anybody you're Airbnb-ing, tell them that you're guests of ours and that you're staying there."
This
And
past
I was
time?
like, "Yeah." And Brian doesn't like being dodgy. I am fine being sketchy. It's not like you're talking to anybody anyway, but I thought that was interesting because it made me think that housing complex kind of frowns on Airbnb. But wouldn't you know it's an Airbnb? Like, there's a way
Yeah.
people could find out.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
imagine why you would want to Airbnb something if you're not technically allowed to do it. So
Yeah.
who
Yeah, that would
knows?
be stressful for me. That'd be stressful. What did reduce my stress is that my daughter committed to college to play
Yes.
softball.
So how many months and years of work, of social media, of connecting to coaches, of her doing all the things, getting the video clips,
Right.
getting everything constantly so she is presentable. When did you start that?
So her batting coach is amazing and has two of his 3 children. He has a third child that's adulting in the world, but his 2 younger children were committed to play in college. And he himself, I believe, played in the major leagues, and so, anyway, he was critical, and he guided us in every way, and he said, "Your freshman year, create a list of 100 colleges, and then start emailing them." And he said, "You have to have Instagram." And so, we started her Instagram the summer before her freshman year, and we consistently put highlights and her whole entire freshman year, did videos, reels, whatever, and we joined what's called field level her freshman year. And then after her freshman year, we joined a team that is an 18U team that is exclusively a showcase team that plays in front of collegiate coaches. And so that coach was really helpful in guiding us. And she said they had to send out 30 emails a month. And so toward the end of her, I would say the freshman year, we started emailing the coaches. And so the first emails to all the coaches were like, why she liked the program, why she wanted to go there. And then she has been emailing colleges probably twice a month for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And
When you say
the
emailing colleges twice a month,
Mhm.
she's emailing a group of them
No,
every
we're
time or
sending out at
the
one point
same email to the same
75
college?
emails, separate individual emails, and you have to say, "Hey, Coach Jones, I saw that you guys won this weekend. That's awesome. Way to go, Ravens. I wanted to send you highlights from my game."
So that okay, so congratulations to Gabby. I'm super excited for her and
Yes.
congratulations to you. It's always one of those where you see the memes about it's my child's birthday. It's also my parent anniversary.
Yes.
It's like that, but
What about me? No.
yeah. So what in hindsight, that's a lot of work. And what did you learn? What would you do differently or what will you even do differently?
I wouldn't do anything differently because it all worked out the way that we wanted to. So, this center college in Kentucky, where she is going to be going, she had been emailing over a year and we had not heard from them at all. And they were D3 and could talk to her. And then all of a sudden, they started following her field level profiles. We're like, okay. And we always emailed you. Then you always email your tournament schedule, the fields you're going to be on. So in the summer, it's easier to send emails. The spring is the hardest because you don't have as much content because you're playing high school ball. So you have to show their weightlifting workouts, show anything that you can. I'd go to her practices and record like a weirdo. And then there was a big tournament in Vegas, City of Lights, and they're like, "We're gonna be there," and they ended up, like, coaching, and they saw her, like, they told her, "We're gonna be there," and then they talked to her and like, "Oh my gosh, take my card, we wanna schedule," like, after seeing her and then watching her play and working with her, then they were like, "Okay, we wanna, schedule a talk with you," and then they scheduled a talk with her, they wanted to be texted, so she'd be texting her videos and texting everything that was happening with her.
Mhm.
They wanna
Mhm.
see your transcripts, they wanna see your grades, they wanna see any updates, anything that's going on, the colleges want to see all that, and then they offered her an official visit. So depending on the division, in Division 1, you get 5 official visits, D2, D3, there's not as many, I don't know if the rules are different, NAIA, the rules are
Okay.
different. So she went to official visit overnight. So to me, if you talk to the coaches, they're, "Oh, we saw you at," they are saying, "We saw
Mhm.
you at City of Lights." But it was like, "We emailed you." So, like, you saw her field level profile, right? You looked at it and it had all of her videos, so that made them interested to see her there. So all of that work that we did, mattered, right? Having all of her highlights on field level, having all of that, doing all of that stuff mattered. And we still want to maintain contact with her because she has to be accepted into the school in the fall. It's just a verbal commitment. And
Yeah.
they can't officially sign until November of their senior year for any division.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with it. And I think, yeah, because it's like I was trying to, by her junior year, we were cutting down a lot of schools. So we got it down to like a list of 25
Okay.
that we were emailing. So it was a pretty big list for a year, like 15 months. And it was a lot of work because we worked really hard to make every single email personal, of
Okay.
looking at what the school was doing, what was happening. And the reason that we did was because coaches leave at any minute. So you don't
Mm.
want to be emailing the wrong coach and sending it to the wrong email address. You have to check on the school. Also, there was a player who died of a brain tumor. So you want to be like, "Hey, how are you guys? Yay." And then something devastating just happened on the
Mhm.
campus. So
Mhm.
then I feel like you look stupid. But and also we were emailing this college that never responded to us. They never responded for a long time. And so it's like you're not going to get anything back, and just keep you were on their radar and you were on their list. And then a lot of schools, so like the last thing I'll say is a high academic, which is usually a Division 3 school, does not make any offers to you until after your junior year. So all of those schools that she was looking at don't have a recruiting class of 2026 yet and will not until June, because you have to finish your junior year so they can see your transcripts, because they will not make an offer if you will not get accepted into their school. And so those schools, other schools have not made offers to her yet, but we have just chosen a school that we absolutely like. We feel like this is a all around right fit for her. So I just feel like we really, everybody we were emailing, we were only emailing because we knew that that was a great fit for her, and I'm really happy that we vetted. It was so exhausting, but vetting any school that was even gonna be on her list, that work was really worth
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. That's
you know?
really awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just a great story that really all of her hard work has paid off,
Yes.
and it was almost like I almost think about it as, like, some people choose to, like it was stressful, but it was, like, dragged out stressful versus, like, a really intense, overwhelming cram of panic and trying to
It
get
was just
something to
like
work out.
it was a lot of work, and I would
Yeah.
say it would just I had to sit down with her. I don't know if now I don't even know if it was her sophomore year or her junior year where we sat down, because I was doing a lot of the work, and then she started really doing all of it by her junior year, and so that was helpful getting her to feel comfortable in doing all of it,
Yeah.
and then that was good. But I think it was hard when they're, like, younger, when they're freshman, sophomore, to care about it, but then it was like, okay, obviously by her junior end of sophomore year, she was, like, really starting to get into it, so,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is so exciting. So I have a little bit of break because Dominic will be a freshman next year, so next year it's just, like, putting together, but his journey will be different, a little bit different than hers, but just we'll be starting that for a baseball player then.
Awesome.
I wish everybody a week of peace, really working for all of us to work on having compassion for everyone and just trying to continue to spread love and light.
Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend. Find us on Instagram, Facebook at Chasing Brighter, or check out our blog at chasingbrighter.com and follow us. If you want to know more about Kelly and I, read our blogs, find more tips, tools, and resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com. Thanks. Remember, your best life is just a listen away.